welcome to another vlog. It's been a while since I recorded a vlog, and in today's one we'll talk a little bit more about Portugal trip a while ago in October. But because I recorded a lot of these vlogs and a lot of stuff during my trip to Portugal in October of 2025, I ended up taking almost like a sabbatic period that not recording. I was mostly just posting stuff and editing all the stuff that I recorded and posting week after week. So now when I'm recording this is January 2026, and maybe this one, when you see this, maybe will come out about like February, March, maybe, who knows. What can I say about the end of 2025 and the beginning of 26? So 25, those years in which the early days were fantastic. I had my own nights in London, great. Then I had to move to the south. Comedy kind of stopped a little bit, especially like the live entertainment aspect that I do. Stopped a little bit, or was here and there, but not as frequent as before. Tried to save as much money as I could during those 6 months, 7 months now. And now, finally, I'm getting back to the road. I'm getting back to gigs. A few days ago, prior to this, I went to Southend-on-Sea. That will be on a vlog, like specifics about that, like the whole trip, all the stuff. Like, it was a fun trip, I can say about it. It was different. It gave me the nostalgic vibe back in the days in which I used to travel everywhere when I lived down the south, because there was not many opportunities and I used to travel a little bit everywhere. It gave me a little bit that, and now with a little bit of financial stability, it really gives me again that, and that will be the priority, just reaching different crowds, different people. And if you are among those areas that I will travel, just come along, just say hi. It will be nice to see people that already know my work instead of having to build a fan base from scratch on those nights. So yeah, just come along. Just trying to go a little bit everywhere. Of course, it's not easy to go everywhere within England or around the world, but just trying different places, just visiting, and like the one that I mentioned, Southend-on-Sea, just going there, perform, gathering people in the end, talking, networking, and people become fans of your work. Maybe you're seeing this and you came towards my content, what I do on that gig, and I truly appreciate it. Because it was nice. It was a nice gig. But again, I will leave all of those details further down the line when I record a vlog about it, because there was a lot happening, not just on the gig, but just overall the traveling, the experience, a lot of stories. So I will unravel that. I will not have the vlogs that I used to do, that I just have the GoPro with me, because I'm not taking the GoPro at all times. I'm taking my compact camera, and I will show you my compact camera. So like, I'm taking this camera just with me, and that's like where I take my photographs. It's a cheap model, just for photos, for amusing myself, to keep some memories. And most of the photos, truly, it goes towards the Patreon. Occasionally I bring vlogs like this in which I talk a lot, I share my stories, stories that are related to that place, or some that then be like recent updates, and then stories related to that. So I try a little bit on that aspect, and I feel that like my throat, I might start having a little bit of a cold. The weather doesn't help, and tomorrow I'm working, so it's great. Yeah, I can't be sick. I'm doing way too much stuff, so I try to go for a walk, a short walk or something. I take as much photographs as I can, and I showcase the place here, like this type of format, this type of content. Yeah, it might be better this way. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's the idea. Occasionally I might try to bring the GoPro along and try to record something if I have the idea for like a long vlog on that type, but this is easier for me to do because I'm doing so much, like promoting on social media, like the short clips from all the vlogs I've did before, all the stuff, that this is the easiest form to just like keep content coming up on like a regular basis and keep you guys entertained. I know this type of content will not reach masses. It probably just keeps the fan base the way it is, but yeah, it's a risk that I take to just like keep you guys entertained instead of trying to expand the brand. Lamego was one of those places that to Portugal. I took my compact camera at the time with me. One of those places that I visited with my parents and let me, yeah, the photos will be here. Is it better? Maybe. Maybe the photos will be here. So yeah, the photos will be here. So it's nice, enjoy. The thing is, I will just present some of the best photos here. I don't know how many photos will be. So I know I've taken a lot of them. So I'm still need to filter which ones are the best and how many I'll put here. I know I took like from Lamego just alone probably 30-40 pictures or photos. So I'm not gonna put the 40 photos here. I might put some, but again here it might be 4 or 5. So I'm just filling as much time while the photos appear. You have a notion on what the place I'm talking about, and then I go to the stories. Okay, I think that should be enough. That will give me enough room to fit the photos there in the editing part, and then yeah, I will work the stuff out. So Lamego was one of those places that I visit with my parents. I've traveled with them during the holidays. I went to Portugal in October. Back in October 2025, I went to Portugal, and I've mentioned that through old vlogs, but if you're new to this channel, I will simply or briefly explain. So I went to Portugal in 2025, October of it, to visit my parents, and because the job that I have at the moment, at the time, was still early days, but I had holidays as well. I took almost all of the holidays to go to Portugal, so with my schedule 4 days in, 4 days off, I managed to take 8 days, and from those 8 days it gave me almost like a full month there. So I went almost like a full month, 3 weeks in Portugal, and during those 3 weeks, that's how I managed to record a lot of content, not rushing it, and I record a lot of stuff, sometimes because I was bored, because my parents work during the day, during the week, so because I was bored and I was home alone, I would just set up the camera like this, and I would just talk about something. I had some ideas, I had some scripts that I brought with me, and some things that has the bullet points and like some direction whatsoever of what I feel would be a nice story to tell towards all that happened in those places. Because truly, if I leave the footage raw, it's just like my thoughts go everywhere. So this way I can put everything in together like the way that makes sense, instead of like, oh now I'm talking about this and suddenly I'm talking about something because a word reminded me of something, and suddenly I lose the track of what I'm saying. And I think you noticed that, because I was supposed to talk about Lamego and suddenly the thoughts are going everywhere. So yeah, so it's nice that I have proper tools to edit the stuff and then put all together and make sense instead of like he bing 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 bing. Looks like a pinball machine, truly. So and let's not start talking about pinball, because if I do, I'll go outside of the main point that he's talking about Lamego. So focus, really focus. So let's talk about Lamego. So it was a Sunday evening that I went with my parents. We thought about let's travel a little bit, and I had two places that I wanted to travel to take photographs. One of those was Viseu District, which I've mentioned in a previous vlog, that when I'm recording this, that vlog is already out. Another one was Lamego, and Lamego had that memories, that image in my mind that a long time ago I visit because of people I met through a different project. I was not in comedy, I was just like a normal person in school, and we had different projects, and we ended up going to Lamego for some reason. I don't remember exactly the reason, but I know it was some project, I think regarding to arts or something like that. And we ended up meeting different people. I made some friends that no longer are friends, and I ended up, after a few months, 1 year or so, going there to have lunch with those friends that I made along the way, and then like social media helped to get that friendship going. So they invited me, these friends invited me, and I ended up bringing my parents. So it was like sort of a family lunch, my parents and these friends of mine, and we gathered around like just having lunch, just enjoying a nice meal and talking. So that was the first time I truly visited Lamego. We shortly visited, but was more like a lunch and then back home, and we didn't have the opportunity to just walk around and just taking photographs, just enjoy. So I have that in mind. I was just like, I've seen photos of other creators, of other people that travel. I saw videos. Lamego seems really nice. They truly want to just like be able to have memories in photographs. So my parents was like, yeah, okay. So the whole day was planning about like, let's go to Regua because I have this idea. I just want to walk a little bit around, maybe eating something there, and then the photographs that came in the previous vlog, and then we went from Viseu District to Lamego. Ended up eating there, like there was some sort of a shopping mall that had a lot of stuff inside to eat, like fresh stuff. And we ended up like eating something and then walked around. One of the things that I have here about Lamego, just to give you a little bit of context for people watching this, because it might have my stories, but also like let's build something that also has the substance to talk about like the history of it. From what I researched before doing this, its origin traces back to the 50th century BC, before Christ. So it's interesting how, and if you walk a little bit and you saw some of the photos, you can see like how historic that is, like the whole place, like the picturesque images that you create from it, like it's just magnificent. So back to my and what you saw, most of it, like just to give you a context as well, those steps, those things, is just like it was built in the 18th century, and it's called Sanctuary of Our Lady of Remedies, and it has around like 686 steps according to information online that I found. And so to give you the context, now that you have some information here available for you, I wanted to do those steps. I wanted to go up those steps, and at the time I didn't thought of bringing up this camera. If there is those places sometimes that I regret not bringing a camera and recording a video about it, was those, because I wish I had like that challenge. But no, instead I just had the compact camera, and I just took photos all along, and it was truly like, it was interesting At one point, one of the things that I remember was just like, because my dad didn't want to do that. It was just like, that's too tiring. I will meet you guys in the top of it. I'll just drive up there and I will meet you there. And my mom, to not let me alone, she was just like, I will do that with you. Why not? So I'm doing this with my mom. I'm sharing a moment with my mom, just walking around and just having fun walking the stairs. Of course, having a little bit more care when I'm walking with someone, because I know that I can't rush, so I need to have patience and I need to take my time and waiting for them and stuff, especially my mom. So I'm taking my time and taking photos, I'm enjoying. And of course, I also like taking photos of my mom, because everything, it's like, I don't know if you saw a vlog a long time ago, a long time ago, in which I did Passadiços do Paiva, and you can search through my playlist, you can find the exact one that I'm talking about. It's a long one. I have two about the Passadiços do Paiva, the unseen footage, and a different one, the early one. And the unseen footage is more of like just the view, just like trying to take the view, and was like a short one, and it's great. But the one that I'm talking about was like the first footage, like the footage that I took initially, and the one that I made a vlog about it. And those scenes then led to me just trying to create content out of necessity and picking up the stuff that didn't come out on that first one and trying to make a second one about it and trying to see if I could get more views, which didn't happen, but still was a nice attempt. So the first one, if you go see that one, I'm doing a walk with my aunt. And my aunt, it's let's how do I put this? It's a character. In a certain way, it's a character. And when I mean this, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean in the way that she's just like funny amusement. She's always like laughing, just fun person to hang around. And my mom is sort of the same, in terms of like, she's just, the best way that I describe my mom is she doesn't understand comedy, but she's funny naturally without wanting to be funny. Because my mom never tries to be funny. My mom is funny without trying. And for me, that's like, she will say something, she doesn't realize how stupid that is, and she's truly serious about that. And it's just like, I mean, okay, this is funny. I know you're not thinking that this is funny, but this is super funny. And my mom, when she's with me about like going somewhere, and she knows that I'm taking photos everywhere. She at a certain point she asks me like, "Oh, can you take me a photo here? Can you take me a photo there? Can you take?" So at a certain point I'm being like her photographer. So that's the way that I would describe. It's fun. It's fun for me. My mom loves it, and what costs me to just like taking a couple of photos here and there, she has that in her memory, and she maybe later on sometimes she prints some of those that I gave to them, to my parents, and she puts on a wall around the house. So it's nice. Doesn't cost me anything. Why not? And once in a while, my mom asks like, "Oh, can you take me a photo here? I truly love this." And especially anything that has like some religious symbol. Anything that has a religious symbol, my mom wants to document that in photos. So she asks me, and they're just like, "Yeah, okay." So we're walking, and we come across one of those, like a group of tourists as well, like doing that place. I think they were French, from what I understood. And how do I say this? There is like the normal path that you go just up the stairs, and there is like different routes as well if you want to just search around through the whole thing. So, and there is one route that leads to like a higher place that you can just take a photo, like if you want a photo from above, and it's quite nice. It goes a little bit outside that stairs, but it's a nice place as well. So I see that, my mom looks at me and just thinks like, "Oh, in there I think you can take like a good photo of you and the whole thing, like just go there." And I'm like, "You might be right." So I go there, and my mom suddenly hears this tourist groups talking. And because I'm fat, truly, like, because at this moment I gain a lot of weight, especially compared to what I was before a long time ago, I've gained a lot of weight, and people think sometimes they see me and they think I'm not capable of walking much. For some people, it surprises them when I'm doing this whole challenge of like 20 miles or whatever, because I truly like walking. I might be fat, but I still walk a lot. But for some people, like, walking or doing exercise and doing loads is associated to someone that is skinny and is in shape and not like me. Going through those stairs to get to that place that I'm talking, and they are talking, from what my mom understood, they were talking about, oh, so that fat guy is going to go up those stairs. If our son didn't manage to go there, I don't think he's going to go there. They are doing this. I'm not realizing because I'm elsewhere trying to go up those stairs. I go up those stairs, I go up, I take the photos, and then what my mom hears is like, oh, so that fat guy managed to go there and our son didn't. Wow. I get down, like, to that, to come to meet my mom again, and she tells me that. She's like, oh, did you know that, like, those tourists were looking at you and they were, like, betting if you could go there or not? I was just like, that's the stupidest thing. And she was like, yeah, I know. But that was funny to, like, because they were speaking in French and they thought no one could understand them. And my mom understands French, my mom understands German. And my mom understands a little bit of English. Not much, but she understands a little bit of English. So they were speaking in French, and my mom, for a couple of years in her youth, lived in France. She worked in France. She just, like I did, just traveled alone and just went to work on a different country. My parents, like, both of my parents are from a generation that they decided to take their lives to different countries to work and to learn the language. So when I decided to go to a different country, they were not opposed. If they could, they didn't want me to go because they want me close to them because I'm the only child, but they were not opposed because they did the same. She understood the French, and she was saying to me that it's like, I didn't even say anything, I was just listening, and it's just like, man, you're so wrong, because he probably walks more than you guys all together. But yeah, of course, when you look at this physique, of course it looks like that he will not manage to do that because he's fat. So yeah, that's one of those stories that happened there. The couple of stairs, I take the photos, I enjoy my life. I'm just going around. Let me just drink water because yeah, no, it's fun. It was fun for sure.